Good morning. 194 in the Playhouse in the morning. 0 and Amy K in the 194 Morning Playhouse. 7:20 in the morning. A high of about 45 degrees today. Happy Giving Hearts Day. Great day in the community to support your favorite charity organization in town. All the appropriate links for you at 194.com as we launch into...
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
A mailbag situation from Playhouse family member Lauren, who wants to know if any of you've ever been here before and how you handled it. She says, anyone else ever deal with a problem like this? There's this woman who just moved into our neighborhood, and her dog is constantly wandering over to our yard to go to the bathroom. So I don't even have a dog, and I'm constantly picking up dog poop like I do. Am I supposed to alert her to this thing that she clearly is well aware of? Because how do you not know? What do I do here? I'm certain she was unloading groceries, literally watched the dog come over to my front yard the other day, go to the bathroom, and never came over to clean it up, just left it there. I waited hours before going out there. Anyone else ever been there before? So you live next to you know what dog it is. That dog's constantly wandering over, not escorted by its owner. It's doing its business. How'd you handle that, Amy K?
This is what would happen at the house when I was growing up. Our neighbor's dog, she would just let it out. It was a smaller dog, and he would just roam. He was never on a leash, and he would always come on our yard to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, one day, my dog was on a leash, and the dog came over, and my dog attacked her dog.
I mean, it was hanging out in your yard.
Yeah.
Get out of my yard.
And our dog was still on a leash. After that, she started leashing her dog and making sure it stayed in her yard. But that's how we dealt.
Attack the dog.
Yeah. I don't recommend it, but I mean, it worked for us. Are you friendly with this person?
It doesn't sound that way. I think that you could easily, like, not you play stupid, but play them stupid. Like, hey, I'm sure you don't know because, yeah, obviously you don't know. But I've noticed this, and I don't really like cleaning it up. And then I've seen her doing it. She's wandering over all the time. Do you think that you could put her in your yard? Or do they have a fence? Could you leash your dog? Could you try to get her to stop coming to our yard? Or if you notice her over there, would you mind just looking and picking it up? Like, just pretend like she has no idea and is oblivious to it, even though you know full well she knows.
Especially since you don't have a dog, there's no arguing. But if there is poop by you while she's outside, I would say, oh, I just stepped in dog poop.
Where did this come? I don't even have a dog.
How did this get here?
It's exactly whatever dog it is. Yellow lab size poop. That would be an option. If that was you, maybe you have even some life experience there. What do you do? What do you do? 237 it's text 35270. Harry Styles late night talking to the Playhouse. 194 7:23 in the morning. Playhouse 194 7:25. And here's the scoop with this mailbag situation for Playhouse family member Lauren. She's tired of scooping up the neighbor's doggy do. She's noticed quite a few times a neighbor dog wandering into her yard, leaving a mess. She doesn't even have a dog herself, but she's always cleaning up after this dog. And in her mind, the owner is fully aware and has seen this, but is still just leaving the dog landmines in her yard. She's like, how would you handle this if this was you? Have you ever had this life experience before? What did you do? Thoughts? Hello.
My advice for the pooping dog problem is to collect the dog's poop. Sometimes actions speak louder than words. Collect the dog's poop, save it, freeze it, wrap it up in a present with a bow, and give it to her for Christmas.
Okay. So you're hanging on to that now for 10 months.
While.
10 months you'd be hanging on to that doggy too.
Ew, could you imagine someone coming over? What are these little chocolates all over your freezer? That's disgusting.
Yucky.
That's what a lot of people are saying, that you should throw the poop back in their yard. I would scoop it up with a shovel, put it right on their doorstep, get a shovel, drop it right on their doormat, mash some of it in. Someone else said they do have motion-activated sprinklers. My neighbors used to let their dogs run all over my yard for years. Then one time, one of their dogs, I'm assuming, got into something and died, but they claimed I poisoned it. I never corrected their incorrect assumption, but it did keep their dogs out of my yard.
Why would you let somebody think you poisoned their dog?
So they stopped going in your yard, apparently.
I guess so. Seems like you'd want to eventually fix that. That misconception.
They probably refer to you all that's that mean neighbor. He poisoned our dog.
That's the dog killer over there.
Yeah.
Poisoned the dog. 237, it's text 35270. Maybe you've been there before in one of these dog doody-doo wars, or maybe just got advice for Lauren. Hello?
Well, it's actually a lot simpler than you'd think. I took it for a couple of weeks, but then when it kept happening, I just went over and talked to the neighbor, and I was like, hey, man, I don't know if you're watching your dog, but he keeps crapping in my yard. Can you not do that?
So you're just very direct and just laid it out there, huh?
Yeah, nice and firm, polite. I wasn't too crazy or threatening or anything, but I said it, looked him in the eye, and he was sorry. He was like, I just kind of let the dog run around in the morning. I'm not really watching him. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again, and it hasn't.
I think that is most people's reaction to that. Like, nobody's going to be like, my dog should be allowed to go. Like, she might try to claim it's not her dog, to which you would just say, I've watched it happen.
Or, like, I don't have a dog. It's constantly here, and I've seen your dog do it.
And good morning.
If a dog was, like, pooping in my yard too much, I do what I already did this once with a neighbor's dog. I kind of started feeding it human food.
Uh-huh.
And, you're not, like, hurting the dog. The dog will have, like, a terrible digestive issue, so it kind of stopped coming over after that.
Your connection's kind of garbage, but I feel like you're sort of like that person that texted that Amy read off that was, like, trying to poison the dog.
The guy that texted in didn't actually poison the dog. They just assumed, and he never corrected their assumption.
Falsely accused.
Yeah.
Did not commit the crime. Where we've seen some more people like, here's how I would handle the doggy do from the neighbor.
Someone said, why isn't talking to the neighbor the first thought? What happened to people just talking? Someone else said, I had a neighbor who was doing this, so my husband started bagging it up and putting it on their front doorstep. It worked after a couple times. Do they like us? No, but they're the ones being inconsiderate, therefore not people we want a relationship with anyway.
Hello.
All right, so actually, I live in a duplex, and I have a pit bull, and she's the sweetest thing. And, of course, I take my bags out with me every day because we share a yard, and I pick up my dog's poop. My neighbor, who has this stupid little loud-ass chihuahua, one of those, like, teacup chihuahuas that it barks incessantly, like in the stupidest hours so that I can't sleep. But then he doesn't pick up the smallest poops. Like, what's your problem? You can't pick up these tiny poops. So I see him out there. This is about 2 weeks ago is what I did. Okay, I went and bought a BB gun, like one of those the kid ones, not the serious CO2 powered. It's gonna hurt the thing. But I bought a little BB gun.
Listen.
And he's out there, and I watch him.
No.
Dog poops. He turns around, goes to walk back in. I shot him right in the calf, like in the, like that nice tender part.
Like the human.
And he starts flying off. Look, man, we're about the same age, and like he and I have this, cordial sort of neighborly relationship. But this one, and I've told him before to start picking up the dog poop, or I'm going to do something about it. And so he starts to, I'm going to call, okay, you shot me. I was like, look, next time it happens, I'm shooting the dog. All right? Because I like animals more than people. But my advice is you take it out on the owner. Because there's no such thing as a bad dog, just bad owners.
Well, and they say there's no such thing as a bad idea and maybe bad advice, but I think that maybe shooting anybody with a BB gun's not the best advice.
Honestly, I don't feel as bad that it was the person. If he was shooting the dog with the BB gun,
really
my heart was going to break.
Yeah, I feel weird saying this. I'm glad it was the neighbor you got.
I'm happy it was the human and not the dog.
Still, it's bad advice, but I'm glad that's how it worked out.
Yeah.
All right, we've seen some more thoughts for
Some of them are so ridiculous. That's why I was laughing. Someone said the woman should just go take a poop in their yard. Might be illegal. You might get in trouble with having your pants down.
Maybe, yeah.
Someone said take the poop, put it in a paper bag, and put it on their porch, light it on fire. Someone else said I can overlook the occasional poop in the grass sometimes. They might not notice, but if it's constantly happening, I would not tolerate this. I think you do need to just take a shovel, fling it into their yard, on their lawn, on their car, on their house. Why should you have to care more than they do? And someone else said, I'm guessing it's probably not legal in the area to just let your dog roam the neighborhood. I think you need to call animal control or an animal shelter.
And so again, her neighbor's dog wandered over, going potty in her yard. She's tired of it. Neighbor just leaves it there. Hello?
Oh, it turned into total poop wars. My dog has this horrible yapping dog, and I mean, my neighbor has this horrible yapping dog, and he thinks it's okay that he lets his dog poop in my yard and he never cleans up. So one sunny Saturday afternoon, I went and I picked up the poop and I placed it right on his front steps. So when he went out to get his mail and check his paper and all of that stuff, he found his dog's pooper right on his front steps. I haven't seen any more dog poop since then.
You're not irregular. We have a lot of variations of just bringing the poo over there. I think that it's weird we're jumping to that step. Like, it's not a bad idea, but shouldn't the first thing be like some sort of conversation where it's like, hey, just so you know, your dog's going potty in my yard. Can you please clean it up?
It is uncomfortable, though, to confront people.
I guess, but it's less comfortable, or it's more comfortable to go dump poo on their front doorstep?
I mean, that's uncomfortable, too, but then at least you don't have the face-to-face interaction. I had to confront my upstairs neighbors because they were so loud, and I felt terrible. I wrote him a note after saying, I'm sorry I asked you to keep it down, which is ridiculous.
This is the problem with us in this part of the country is we're almost too nice, which is weird to say when 30 seconds ago a guy said he shot his neighbor with a BB gun.
People love the BB gun guy. Someone said that's awesome.
It was a good story. I'm glad he didn't get the dog.
I'm happy he didn't get the dog, but it taught the neighbor a lesson.
It says something about all us, too, by the way. Had that BB gun touched that dog, we'd be like, you're a monster.
Yeah.
He shot his neighbor in the leg. We're like, you're hilarious.
Get it. They deserved it.
Dude, you're a true American hero, man. That stupid Cupid sounder gets you some V-Day prizes here in less than 3 minutes.
The Y94 Morning Playhouse.
Yay.